Hi, guys. I'm here. I'm here. It's showtime. We have some things to discuss tonight. And I'm going to let you guys get up on in here and we're going to talk about it. And I let you guys get up on in here.
Yo, welcome to the vibe where the bills get real. Crime time stories with that Crescent City feel. If you're new, sit down, let's begin the show. And to my loyal supporters, I'm glad you're in the flow. It's the city of soul, where the streets got flair. From the French Quarter beats to the Bayou air. This is more than a channel, it's a whole mood. We're talking life, love, and that southern groove. Like, comment, subscribe, come back again. It's Smokers Know the Bells where the real begins. Crime time stories with a thoughtful spin. If you're down for the truth, then let's lock it in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay. Breaking down the cases in a bold new way. Every viewer, every fan, y'all part of the crew. This is Smokers Know the Bells and we're here for you. We're digging through the mysteries, uncovering lies, shining light on the facts that the darkness hides. It's justice for the stories that need to be told. From the streets of NaZiyah where the truth runs cold. This ain't about the mess, I'm just speaking my piece. Focusing on the stories that the world needs to see. To my members and supporters, I see y'all too. Couldn't make these moves without the love from you. Like, comment, subscribe, come back again. It's Smokers Know the Bells where the real begins. Crime time stories with a thoughtful spin. If you're down for the truth, then let's lock it in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay. Breaking down the cases in a bold new way. Every viewer, every fan, y'all part of the crew. This is Smokers Know the Bells and we're here for you. A shout out to the fam, to my members and team. Y'all keep me grounded while I chase these dreams. From the mysteries to motives, every clue we break. It's love for the truth, not a move that's fake. No dragon here, but I'll call it like it is. Shedding light on the facts, yeah, you know what it is. So hit that button, pull up and stay a while. Crime time vibes with that southern style. Yeah, Smokers Know the Bells, bringing truth to the mic. Crime stories that inspire from the day to the night. Hit subscribe, join the fam, let's dig in again. This is your home for the real, Smokers Know the Bells to the end. Like, comment, subscribe, let's keep it alive. Every story we tell, every clue we revive. To my members and supporters, y'all the heart that dwells. Welcome home, y'all. It's Smokers Know the Bells.
All right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It's good seeing you all here this evening. Definitely it is. Definitely it is. Girl, it's a story that we have to tell. It's a story that we have to tell, but first I'm going to welcome each and every one of you here. It's good seeing you all. As you come in, please make sure you tap that like button. If not already, please grab a membership. Become a part of the NOLA Bells. We do have super chats and super stickers available, and super thanks also at the end of the live. And if you feel the need, you could bless the host via Cash App. And I also ask guys that you share my videos out. Put your girl out there in the algorithm. Let YouTube know that you're enjoying my content. And it would also help my channel grow. I appreciate you all so very much. You guys have no idea. Even to my new subscribers, I love you guys. Thank you so much. All opinions here matter. All voices will be heard. We're definitely here to discuss some stuff and have a very good time. We're a loving community here. We don't block nor time out unless you're just that disrespectful. And hopefully we don't go that route. So in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to welcome each and every one of you. And like I said, I thank you for coming by and tuning in. Hi, Virgo. Hey, Dr. J, I'm glad you made it. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Miss HP, welcome back. Hi, Chanel. Yes, Chanel, this story is so sad. Hi, Pinky. Thank you, love. Thank you. I appreciate your first time here. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Terrific. Hey, Janice. How are you, love? Hey, Nene. Hi, Deidre. Deidre says, hi, Mocha and everyone in the chat. How you all doing this blessed evening, girl? Other than dealing with this weather, I'm fine. I hope you're blessed as well. Let's see who else I'm missing up in here. Hi, darling. How are you, love? Hi, Pie. Hey, entertainment you love. Hey, girl. Welcome, welcome. Hi, living life in Florida. Hey, Queen Spirit. Hey, Bridget. How are you, love? Hey, Sister Shalonda. Hey, Dallas. Hey, Sheena. Hey, Abs. Let's see. Hopefully I got everybody for now. For now, I guess I got everybody. Hey, Melanie, how are you, love? And I know that there are several lives in this. Hi, Bobby. Several lives going on in this area. So, we're going to get this story out. I mean, those of you who have not yet followed this story, it is definitely one to follow, guys. It is definitely one to follow. There are videos all over the place about this, and you guys know I don't do the hi essay. Y'all know that I don't do the video thing, but I do tell the story. I do tell the story, and tonight we will definitely tell this story because it is one to be told. But before I begin the commentary, I would like to send out condolences and prayers to everyone that truly loved and cared for NaZiyah, even us on the outside that have been following this story and has developed a heart-jerking emotions for NaZiyah and what she had to go through at the hands of her grandmother, her aunt. Hi, Kayanne. Welcome, girl. Thank you for coming back. She went through all of this at the hands of her grandmother, her aunt, and that got Jarvis Butts. Let me just call him that for now. They none cared about her, y'all. Not even her biological mom. Not even. And I believe, and it's only my opinion, that after this trial is over and done with, I pray that they get that grandmother and Shannon back in court. Because in my opinion, they're both liars and they hit a lot. So at this time, guys, for little NaZiyah, can we please put up purple hearts for NaZiyah? This is something. This is truly, truly something, guys. So, after 4-day long preliminary hearings, Judge Aaliyah Seaby ruled that Jarvis Butts, the man accused of murdering missing 13-year-old NaZiyah Harris, she said he will stand trial. 13-year-old NaZiyah went missing on January 9th, 2024. And after many witnesses and testimonies and compiled evidence, hi, Kathy, Jarvis Butts has been charged in connection to her murder. This was ruled on January 9th, 2025, exactly 1 year to the date she went missing. Prosecutors said that on January 9th, Jarvis Butts was supposed to turn himself in on a gun charge the same day NaZiyah went missing. But that date was pushed back to February. You all will hear more about that as we go along. Here we will discuss witness testimonies, text messages, the family of NaZiyah. And baby, that was a family. That was a hell of a family. In my opinion, the system failed her. Hi, Auntie Loretta. In my opinion, the system failed her in every way. Jarvis Butts was a fourth-time offender. He was a predator, guys. And it seemed that he's been preying on this child long before 2022, which is the year text messages were revealed. It revealed their interaction started then. Because according to the aunt, he had been in her life since she was 2 years old. This was not the only case Jarvis Butts is involved in. After testimonies, he's also charged with reportedly sexually abusing 2 other minor girls. Not to mention his prior conviction in 2005. Not to mention, prosecutors labeled him as a serial child rapist who sexually assaulted an 8-year-old family member who was his own daughter, and a girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter who reportedly caught chlamydia from that assault. Imagine that. Hi, Lucille. Imagine that. That monster infected a 4-year-old, guys, with chlamydia. But we're going to hear more about that in a little bit. On September 27th of 2024, he was charged as a habitual offender for the 4th time. Jarvis Butts ain't shit. He was sick. He was definitely sick. So before I get into these witness testimonies and the outcome of all of this, let me just give you a timeline of where we are, what we're dealing with, and where we're going with this. Here's a timeline of NaZiyah's disappearance, and this was presented by the prosecution. NaZiyah took the bus to school on January 9th. She had her hair in 2 braided puff balls. She wore her clear frame glasses. She had on a white sweater with a black jacket over it, a colorful puffy rugrat jacket with a fur-lined hood, with light blue jeans and Nike shoes. There was a video of NaZiyah getting on the bus. NaZiyah used a DPS-issued tablet that she used to communicate. She took one last picture of herself on that very same tablet. That's the picture that's on the thumbnail. But using that tablet, she sent a message to Jarvis Butts indicating that they would be meeting up after she got out of school that day. There's also a video that circulated of her getting out of school, off the bus, in those same clothes. It shows that she meets up with Jarvis Butts and Cardell Wright. We'll tell you who that is in a second. And she goes back with them to Connor Street. When she goes back with them to Connor Street at the auto shop where Jarvis and Cardell worked, NaZiyah is seen by Jarvis' sister at that same shop. Jarvis and Cardell and NaZiyah, they were together in Cardell's car that evening when they went to return a vehicle that belonged to Cardell's son's grandmother that they had worked on that day. Then they returned back to the shop and they said that Jarvis's phone placed him in all those different locations. At 9:30 p.m. to 12:20 p.m. from January 9th to January 10th of 2024, Jarvis checks into a motel. They presented a receipt that confirmed that, as well as his phone, placing him in that location. NaZiyah is never seen again after January 9th, 2024. Jarvis Butts' charges are first-degree premeditated murder, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, child sexually abusive material for the alleged murder of NaZiyah Harris. In addition to those charges, Jarvis is also charged with sexually abusing the two other children that I mentioned previous, who were under 13 at the time. One of the victims, who is now 20 years old, was allegedly abused between April of 2012 to 2014. The other victim, who is his biological daughter, is now 11, and she was abused from July 2015 to 2017. So this monster has been charged with 5 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct and 1 count of first-degree criminal sexual conduct for these assaults against the girls. Court records show that Jarvis Butts previously served time in prison for sexually assaulting a child in 2004. And it said that Jarvis targets weak and unattractive women to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. He was identified as a classic, an expert groomer, and a PBF. So now that was the rundown. Let's get into this story. I'm going to look. Thank you for the super chat, super sticker, GG. Hey, sissy, just came to show support. I love you and will be hitting the replay button. Thank you, love. So, looking at these comments, HP says when they do it once, it's usually not their first time doing it. It's just the first time they're caught. He's been doing it, from what I'm understanding, for quite some time. This story is horrendous. Horrendous. You hear me? Okay, Lucille. So, Dr. J asks, why was this monster still on the streets? He was allowed to destroy so many girls' lives. Exactly. So Darlin says that predator also SA'd his own daughter. Indeed, he did. So I'm going to get into this story, guys. So on the first day of testimony, the first witness was his so-say business partner. Cardell Wright. Cardell Wright was 37 years old. He's 37 years old. And he goes by the name King. He sits on the witness stand in shackles because he too is incarcerated, but not on the charge with Jarvis Butts. He's incarcerated. First, he was on probation, and he's incarcerated for supposedly domestic violence against pregnant women. Not one, but a few more. He began his testimony stating that he was on an ankle monitor from March 14th, 2023 up until 2024. He had restrictions, and they were that although he was able to leave home, he had to be back by 9. He testifies knowing the defendant, Jarvis Butts, because he worked with him first at an auto shop called Frank's, and then eventually partnering up with him, and they opened up their own shop. He said they initially met in 2018. They worked there for about 2 years, and mid-year 2022, they began becoming partners of their own shop at Connors Street. This is all taking place in Detroit. He testified that while working at Frank's with Jarvis, there were occasions when Jarvis had kids with him at the shop. He was asked, did he know who the kids were? He said yes. He said yes. He said they were Jarvis's daughter, his niece, and sometimes his son. He said even when they opened their own shop, Jarvis Butts always had the kids there. He began testifying about the first time he was contacted by the Detroit Police Department. He said it was on February 13, and it was in relation to a jailhouse phone call that he received from Jarvis. He testified that Jarvis wanted him to retrieve his cell phone from the truck of his baby's mama. At this time, the courts played the recorded conversations, hearing Jarvis telling him exactly where and how to get the phone that he had stashed behind the seat of the vehicle near a back wall. Hi, me mom. Thank you for coming by. He testified that when the baby mom got there with the truck, he searched and nothing was there. He then testified about his second encounter with Detroit Police Department. He said at this time he believes, but he wasn't sure that he was off the ankle monitor. So now he's being questioned about January 9th. He testifies that they were in the shop working on several cars, and he said a car needed a part, so he and Jarvis goes to AutoZone to get the part. He testifies that while heading back to the shop, Jarvis says, hey man, that's my niece right there, walking on the sidewalk. Hi, Nikki. Thank you for stopping by. Hi, artist. Welcome. So he said he pulled into Angel's liquor store parking lot. And when he pulled into the parking lot, he says 13-year-old NaZiyah crosses the street and gets into the truck with them. He said she spoke, he spoke, and they proceeded back to the auto body shop. He says once back at the shop, he said he grabs the parts that was just purchased and proceeded to go finish the job that he started. Meanwhile, Jarvis was still in the truck. He was still in the truck with 13-year-old NaZiyah, his niece. He says eventually Jarvis gets out of the truck to help him with the vehicle, and NaZiyah starts the truck up. He assumed she started it up for heat because he said it was pretty cold out there. He said at some point while the truck was running, it ran out of gas. So they pushed it next door to the gas station. He said while pumping gas, he asked Jarvis, he said, man, when are you going to drop your niece off? Because her being there was a distraction. Jarvis said, nah, I'm not now. So he went on. He continues to say he went on and he finished working on the vehicle. Said he finished it around 7:30 and he made arrangements with the owner to drop it off. He said when they left to deliver the vehicle, he said he was driving the owner's car and Jarvis and NaZiyah was driving his car. He said he was finally able to describe what the niece had on until they presented pictures, and he was able to positively ID NaZiyah. He testified that when they dropped the vehicle off, the customer, who was his son's grandmother, didn't have all their pay. So they waited until the aunt of the little boy went to the ATM to retrieve their money. And in the meantime, he said they sit there and they chit chat with the grandmother. And, while chit chatting, he said Jarvis introduced NaZiyah to these people as his niece. He said they soon get their money and they leave. And he went on to testify and said that there was no conversation on the ride back. He said his car was full of sounds. He said so he blared the music and headed towards the shop. He says they arrived back at the shop about 8:45 and he was sure of the time because he was close to the restrictions on his ankle monitor. But he did go back into the shop office. He gathered the day's receipts, divided the money that was made that day between him and Jarvis. He said he left and Jarvis and NaZiyah is still at the shop. He went on to say that he had not seen NaZiyah since that night. So on January 10th, which was the next day, he said that Jarvis never showed up to work. Said that Jarvis did call him a few times with conversations ranging anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes. He also said that Jarvis never made mention to him that NaZiyah was missing. He said that it wasn't until after the police questioned him did he learn that NaZiyah was missing. He went on to say that to his knowledge, he said Jarvis had 13 children, and he says at one point him and Jarvis had an altercation, and that was a while back because Jarvis didn't want him having any type of conversations or connections with or relations with Jarvis's 20-year-old daughter. So these two men are sick, both of them. He said that once he was questioned and contacted by the police, his parole was violated, but not revoked. Y'all, that was his testimony. Let's discuss. Let's discuss Mr. Cardell. Let's discuss Mr. Cardell. Hi, Auntie M. Let me move on here and catch some of you guys' questions before we move forward. Right, Dr. J. That's horrendous. Barry. Bridget says the law system is fucked up, and that it is, Bridget. That it is. Melanie says, I watched his part last night. These people are disgusting to me. And it gets worse. Gets worse. So, let's see. Let me get to y'all comments. Let me get to y'all comments. HP says some kids, after years of being kidnapped and SA'd, are still being shown on TV and stories being aired. This story I have never heard of before. They value some kids I could never know. Yeah. Welcome, artists and Mima, Nikki. Welcome, guys. Terrific says, why they got her working with him? Terrific. That's a good damn question. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Right, Abs? It is a sad story. Definitely one. Nini says, darling, I don't know if it makes it worse to do it to your own children. Doing children is a heinous act, regardless of relationship. But damn, your dad, he was sick. He was sick. And Bridget has that same question. My question is, why was she with him in the first place? We're going to get to that. Man. Bridget says, another question I have is, why wasn't she with her mother if they knew he had that history of messing with kids? Baby, that's a loaded question. But I could fill y'all in. Ab says, I listened to the case and it took me some time to get over it. Abs, that case was something else. It definitely was. It definitely was. Lucille said, these ninjas are sick. These, yes, these, you said it right. They need to stop moving them in. Well, Bridget said, say what? They didn't know where her mother was. I know where she is. I know exactly where she is. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. My thing is, what do y'all think about Cardell, the associate partner, being indirectly involved in this, knowing that Jarvis is an offender, yet he turned his head to this child being left alone with him, but yet could make mention of all the many other times children were with this pedo at an auto body shop? Why are there children hanging at an auto body shop? Because to my understanding, from the research I've gathered, the whole community knew that this man was indeed a sick man. I don't understand it. And that's why it's easy to say that the community failed this baby. And Cardell, being a father himself, he shouldn't have asked no questions. He should have just approached it the way a decent father would. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So that was Cardell's testimony. Hi, Shirley. Welcome. Welcome. I'm glad you were able to make it. Guys, if you haven't already done so, please hit that like button for your girl. Share out this live. Just so it can reach people out there, get me out there in the algorithm. We working on my numbers, trying to get my subscriptions up. If you don't mind, I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So the next person on the stand, baby, next person, the grandma. I'm a pin you, Melanie. The grandmother. Guys, hang tight. Hold on to your seats, because with this bitch, we going for a ride. All I can say is if I had a grandmother like that grandmother, I'd rather not have a goddamn grandmother. This bitch name is Annette Harris. She's NaZiyah's grandmother and legal guardian. She says that she adopted NaZiyah in 2016. She also said in January of 2024, NaZiyah was living with her at that time on Bedford Street. She said that NaZiyah had been living with her prior to her getting custody of her. NaZiyah has been with her since birth, guys. All abs. Abs say I'm a Harris too. All abs. So NaZiyah has been living with this grandmother since birth. Although, let me just say this. I'm going to interject for a second. Although, in all of the testimonies that you guys heard, you heard testimony after testimony after testimony. In all the testimonies that you guys have heard, the one thing that you did not know, was about NaZiyah's mom. You heard no mention. Hi, Reba. You guys heard no mention of NaZiyah's birth mother. And the reason you heard no mention, I got you, terrific. I just saw your message, girl. I got you. So the reason you guys didn't hear anything of NaZiyah's birth mom is because NaZiyah's mom signed over her parental rights. Her and the baby's father. That's why you didn't hear much of the biological father nor the biological mother in these cases through the trial. They both signed over their parental rights to Annette Harris when NaZiyah was born. They were both users, and the biological father was married. And he did not want to bring that home to his wife. So therefore, they signed that baby over to Annette Harris. So Annette Harris had custody of NaZiyah. Her daughter Shannon, her grandson NaZiyah's brother, and Shannon's 5 kids all lived in that house. Hi, honey. All lived in that house. So that's a total of 7 kids, 2 grown adults. Wow. So the grandmother went on and she testified that they had a routine. She said, oh, she tried to paint a beautiful picture. She said they had a routine. She said that at 6 a.m. she would get the kids up for school, and they attended J.D. Clark Prep Academy. She said after they got up and was getting ready for school, she said they had prayer. They had a prayer circle every morning. She also said that between 7:15 and 7:20, she was loading them up to drop them off to school. And by 7:30, she had them at the school because they like to eat breakfast at school. We could get into that too when I finish with her. So when she gave that bullshit ass little testimony, still trying to cover shit up, they asked her, did she know Jarvis Butts? She said, yeah, I know Jarvis Butts. Jarvis Butts is the father of my daughter Shannon's 5 children. She said it so proudly. So they asked Annette, do you see Jarvis Butts in his courtroom? Annette played like she was slow. Annette thought everybody was buying her shit. Annette's story had holes in it from the beginning. Annette told him no, she didn't see Jarvis Butts in the courtroom. Now, mind you, he's sitting across from her with a green jumper on and a damn mask on his face. Now, why he had the mask on, Mocha don't know. But I believe, too late to hide your identity now, but I believe they had done whipped his ass. But anyway, that's my opinion. Annette said she didn't see him in the courtroom. That was what she said. She said, well, I don't have my glasses on. That's what the bitch said. I don't have my glasses on. So the prosecutor said, oh, you wear glasses? You didn't bring them? Oh, yeah, my daughter Shannon has my glasses. Prosecutor paused and said, let's get her glasses. She put them glasses on. She stood up. She stood up. Oh, yeah, that's him, she said. That's him. That's Jarvis. I know Jarvis. Whew. So they asked her if Jarvis would come by the house, particularly in January of 2024. Annette went on to say, oh, yeah, he would come by. He would park in my driveway and, you know, Shannon and the kids would meet up with him outside. Oh, no, Jarvis would never come into my damn house. Oh, no, he would never come into my house. He would meet Shannon and her children outside. She also said to the courts that Jarvis would never interact with NaZiyah. She said that on January 9th, their morning routine was still the same. She get them up, they pray. They get dressed, they go to school. She said, in that day, NaZiyah dressed herself in blue jeans, a light powder blue jacket with a hoodie. And she said, I don't know why she said a light powder blue jacket, because that's not what the description said when we watched the films. But anyway, they showed her a picture of NaZiyah. And she said that, of course, that was NaZiyah, and NaZiyah had taken that picture that very same day. So they made mention of NaZiyah's after school routine. Annette says, well, the school bell rings at 2:40 to 2:45. She gets on the bus and she arrives home around 3:05. So on January 9th, she claims that, well, I was home for a little while, then I left. I left to go pick up the kids from school, and when I got back, my daughter Shannon told me that NaZiyah had not came home from school. So I'm confused right here. How can you leave to go pick up your other grandchildren, but says NaZiyah never came home? No way. No way. Hi, Becca. Welcome. Welcome. I don't understand that. So prosecutors went on along and they asked her, well, ma'am, did you make a police report of, NaZiyah being missing? She said, oh, yes. Yes, I did. I sure did. So they asked her, well, ma'am, when did you make the report? Who did you speak to? Who, baby? This bitch said, well, that morning, y'all listen to this. That morning, when I went to drop my other kids off at school, I spoke with the dean and the principal. What the fuck? You mean to tell me your granddaughter never returned home from school? Never returned. Ma'am, how the fuck you slept the night before? Ma'am, how the fuck you close your eyes? Ma'am, how could you sleep, ma'am? How could anybody in that house have peace that night, knowing that baby never made it home? Y'all some cold-hearted motherfuckers. Very cold. And even if your heart is that cold, bitch, it leads me to believe one or two things. You slept. You slept, ma'am, while that child was out there somewhere. Because it's my opinion and mine alone that you knew exactly what was going on, exactly where she was, exactly what was happening. That's why you wasn't in such a hurry. But we'll figure it out. So she told him that NaZiyah, what she told the dean and the principal the next day. NaZiyah didn't come home and she was on her way to the police department, but the school told her they would handle it. And then she said the Troy police sent a sergeant there, and they spoke with her there, and y'all, that was the morning of January 9th. That was the morning of January 9th. She said, then she went, and the way she gave testimony, like she was blaming NaZiyah for everything. Annette, you're a bitch. You're a monster. You're a pitiful excuse for a grandmother. But Annette, I'm going to discuss you some more, ho. Annette says, NaZiyah was active on social media. But most of the time, when NaZiyah posted anything, she only knew about it because her daughter, Shannon, informed her that NaZiyah was on social media. She said that NaZiyah's birth mother, who is her daughter, she's alive and well, and that NaZiyah has no contact whatsoever with her. She also has no contact with her only daughter. She says her daughter only comes around every now and then. She stated that NaZiyah had friends, but none on the street that they live on, which was Bedford. With a house full of children, this bitch testifies. Listen to this. A house full of children. And this grandmother, this bitch, testifies that NaZiyah only had a relationship with one of the children in that house. And that was the daughter of Jarvis and Shannon. Now she says NaZiyah would post on social media, and when she would check NaZiyah's phone, tablet, or whatever, she said she never found anything. She said that NaZiyah was very likable and she had no issues at school. And she also said that NaZiyah made good grades. So the defense asked her about the part she played when NaZiyah didn't show up from school. She said, well, I drove around looking for her. Then I just went to sleep and I reported it the next day at the school. Oh, Lord. So again, she stated that Jarvis would never go into her house. She kept saying that. She and NaZiyah was very close, and she said, oh yeah, that's my grandbaby. We could talk about anything. She could come to me for any and everything, y'all. Annette is a fucking liar. And I do mean she's a liar. She is definitely a liar. HP says, sometimes I don't hear these stories. We chat like now. It breaks my heart. And I literally cry because these are defenseless kids with nobody to protect them. Some of the protectors are the one who is, that's right, HP. Dr. J asks, was he not placed on the registered sex offender? Dr. J, listen to this. That's where she was failed. That's where she was failed by the city of Detroit. She was failed by the state of Michigan. She was failed because he slipped through the cracks after his first stint of being in prison for this same shit and was never registered. He did not get on that registry list till sometime later. Till sometimes later. Abs, we not worry about you being a Harris baby. We love you. You're one of the good ones. So, Dallas, you see that question you asked. She waited until the next day to call the police. The question is why? In my opinion, I believe Annette, you bitch, because she's all over social media. She's listening everywhere she thinks they're talking about her. She's listening. I believe Annette and Shannon concocted a story at the hands of Annette because Annette was the mastermind behind this shit. I don't give a shit. She was a mastermind behind the when to call and when not to make a call. I'm not saying she was totally in control of what happened. That's just my opinion. I believe that Annette thought she was smart enough to make a story that was good enough that it was going to stick. And Annette, ain't nobody bought a damn thing you said, ma'am. Nobody. You sat there looking like a damn liar, Annette. Nothing you could have said, Annette. Yes, Bridget, the grandmother had complete custody of her. Complete custody of her. So, guys, I'm going to say this. Now, for those of you who heard the testimonies, hi, Allen girl. Welcome, love. So, for those of you who have heard the days and days and days of trial, for those of you who listened, y'all saw where Annette went on and said about their morning routine and how this happens and how that happens and, you know, what they do, they pray. There's a video. There's a video. Because y'all know, I tell the story. There's too many other people showing clips of the video, so there's no need for me to do it. I will tell you the story. Annette says she prays with her grandchildren every morning before they go to school. In my opinion, Annette needs to take those prayers, stick them up her ass, and roll over and go somewhere. Because Annette is the devil. There's a video circulating right now. That video, it's about 10 months old when this shit first happened. Annette got those grandchildren in that prayer circle, cursing them out like they're grown ass people. Who are you cursing, Annette? Why are you cursing these children? And your same big retarded dumb shaped like Barney daughter, Shannon, is the one that recorded y'all So Say Prayer Circle with all your cursing and mistreating your children for clicks and views. But then we wonder why our children have such low self-esteem. Annette, is monsters like you that have children feeling unworthy, have children feeling that nobody loves them, that have children feeling like they're not liked. Annette, it's motherfuckers like you that do that to these kids. And if just the little bit that I heard from that prayer circle, Annette, if you did that day, Annette, I could only imagine what you do when that camera ain't on. I could only imagine what NaZiyah had to go through in that house with you, Annette, on a daily basis. NaZiyah, she loves social media. NaZiyah even posted videos on TikTok of herself. Annette, you are a sorry excuse of a goddamn grandmother, Annette. Annette, why was there locks on the refrigerator, Annette? Because to my understanding, those children were in there eating Spam. I wouldn't give a dog Spam, bitch. You had those children eating noodles, Annette. And Annette, you were a foster mom. That's what you told the courts, right? So Annette, you were getting paid for those children. So you got them eating spam. You got them eating noodles. You got them grabbing whatever they could find when they could find it. But Annette, you got a padlock on the refrigerator with chains on it. With chains. Because to my understanding, it was reported that here you are, bitch. You got steak, you got shrimp, you got all of this juice, all of this in a locked refrigerator with those children's money. Annette, what kind of monster are you? Of course, Jarvis Butts is a goddamn monster because he committed the act in which we discussed tonight. But Annette, you were a monster. You were a grandmother. Annette, now I understand. Annette, I understand why children that you gave birth to, bitch, I understand why they ran away. I understand why they ran away. Your own biological children, Annette, was running away from you. And if you treated them any way that you treated NaZiyah, I see why. I see why. So Annette, you did all of that for a check. All of that for a check. Okay, Annette. Okay, Annette. Of course, Bridget, she lied her ass off. Becca Cry says she's new to the channel. Welcome, Becca. Welcome, baby. We're glad to have you here. We're glad to have you here. Nene says, I never knew I could love so hard as I do my grandkids. Plus, I don't have to discipline them. I could just spoil them and teach them how to understand their mother. Well, we ain't dealing with these kind of people, baby. Annette is a monster. Nikki says, I have 7 grandbabies, and they are my joy. As they should be, Nikki. As they should be. Right, Melanie? Shannon was instructed to not to call the police at all. This story gets wicked and wicked and wicked. Ab says the aunt, baby, we will discuss this. Right, Melanie? That woman looked like she was high on something. But I think what was happening with that aunt, baby, hold up. Grandma was drunk, Melanie says. Baby, we're going to get to her. So, okay, guys. See, ooh, baby, hold up. Let me go through my chat. Let me go through my chat. Right, terrific. They all need to go to prison. Becca says the baby wasn't in the house. She should have called. Right, Becca? She should have called that night. She should have. Dr. J said the principal and dean are not law enforcers. Shit. But you couldn't tell them that. You couldn't tell them that. I'm going to move a little further down in the chat, y'all. Hi, Alita. Welcome, baby. Welcome. I'm so glad to have all you new subscribers. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you guys. So here we are. Let me see what Sierra says. Sierra says, check out the other family member, Kenya. She's been talking about Jarvis molesting kids for years, and they all knew God and protect. Thank you, girl. See what I'm saying? That's where my mindset is. That's where my mindset is. Sierra says, Jarvis had been molesting those kids for years, and they all knew and protected him. They all knew and protected him. We welcome you, Alita. We welcome you. This is horrible. Guys, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Get your girl out there in the algorithm. Let YouTube know that you appreciate what I'm doing. I really appreciate you guys. So now, guys, we're on to Shannon's testimony. That big, bad shape, bad body. Look, I could go on and on with Shannon. On and on. Shannon is the aunt. Shannon is the aunt of NaZiyah. Shannon is 31 years old. Shannon must have had a lot of bad birthdays because Shannon looks a mess. Thank you, Alita. Thank you for sharing it, my love. Shannon looks a mess for 31 years old. Shannon has 5 children. They all belong. They all belong. Thank you for gifting a membership, Nene. Thank you, love. Shannon looks a total mess. 5 children. They all belong to Jarvis Butts. Shannon resided in a home with her mother and the other 2 kids, meaning NaZiyah, her brother, and that's a total of 7 kids, and supposedly 2 grown-ass adults. Shannon testified that Jarvis had known NaZiyah since NaZiyah was 2 years old, and that they only had an uncle and niece relationship, whatever the fuck that meant. Nothing more than that. And she set her ugly, unkept ass on that stand. Thank you, Shalonda. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships, girl. We appreciate you. So she went on to say nothing more, nothing less than that. They had an uncle and niece relationship, right? She said that Jarvis would call to see the kids, or the kids would ask her when could they see their daddy. That's what she said. So she said he would pull up in the driveway at the house, and all the kids would be around him. They asked her if she knew of NaZiyah ever texting Jarvis. She stated that, to her knowledge, no, she didn't know that NaZiyah ever texted Jarvis. And she went on to say, but Nene, you crazy. I'm reading your comment. But unless she will have her. Now, Shannon, bitch, make me understand. Why would you have your niece, NaZiyah, 13 years old? Tell me, why would you have your niece at 13 years old text Jarvis Butts? Hi, Zell. Welcome, welcome. Why would you have your niece text Jarvis Butts? I'm confused. So she went on to say, she said Jarvis would call her and ask if the girls could come and do work at the shop. Y'all, what kind of work could 2 young girls do at a goddamn auto mechanic shop? The lies keep going. She said she gave permission for her daughter to go, although she didn't need it because she was going with her daddy. She said, and the grandma willingly gave permission for NaZiyah to go. She said that NaZiyah never went to the shop alone. She said that she used to text Jarvis from a text now number. Bitch used a text now number because her phone was more often off than it was on. So this showed her text messages from June to August of 2023. She said that she never sent those messages to Jarvis. She said that when NaZiyah went missing, she said she called Jarvis. He never answered. Then she sent him a text message asking him had he seen her. Jarvis said no. So they showed this bitch. They showed her text messages, copies of the messages between her and Jarvis, which was on January 9th to January 11th. So on January 9th, the text she says sends to Jarvis is, NaZiyah is missing. Have you seen her? He said no. That was the end of that. So she says on January 11th, she asked Jarvis, could he share a missing persons flyer of NaZiyah on his Facebook page? And she sent him a copy of the flyer for him to post. So now NaZiyah goes missing on January 9th. You didn't see your man, the father of your children, January 9th, January 10th, and on the 11th, you sent him a goddamn text message and asked him if he don't mind sharing the missing persons flyer. Bitches, you crazy or you thought everybody else was crazy? Y'all's story ain't adding up. Hi, official IG. Thank you, love, for coming by. So, prosecution backtracked to December 3rd of 2023, where she pulled a text message of Shannon texting Jarvis, asking him, listen to this shit here. Listen to this shit. Shannon sent a text message, y'all, on December 3rd, 2023, asking Jarvis, hey, do you need NaZiyah for anything today at the shop? Who does that? Hi, Rhonda. Welcome, love. Who does that? Ma'am, I got a problem with that. So they asked her, why would she text Jarvis such a thing? She said that NaZiyah, bitch, lying on her knees. These hoes are sick. You lying on your knees and you telling these people that NaZiyah asked you to call Jarvis because she wanted to clean up just that much. Bitch, you sick, Jarvis sick, your mom sick, all you hoes are sick. I don't see how the people in your city, I don't see how these people got you motherfuckers walking. Because y'all would have answered to a lot. Right, Sierra? Let's talk about why the fuck she lied and said Jarvis was never at the house, yet Jarvis and NaZiyah was texting each other in the same house, asking where you want to fuck at, basement of the shop. Boop, that is. There it is. But the mama, Annette, the grandma, and Shannon, these uneducated, low-class bitches, ghetto trash. Oh no, he never came in the house. He was always in the driveway. You bitches are sick. You are sick. And Shannon, it appears to me that you helped Jarvis groom NaZiyah. You would do anything for that man, Shannon, looking the way you looking. So you helped him. You knew what was going on from the jump. Because Shannon, why the hell would you call this man a known goddamn pedo You knew his goddamn history, but you go call him and ask him what he need NaZiyah for today. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So fast forwarding to January 21st, 2024. Shannon sent messages to Jarvis, right? Thank you for the super sticker, GG. Shannon sent messages to Jarvis. The first one read this. She tells Jarvis on January 21st, hey, so these messages I've seen in your inbox from Tutor, I really don't know what to believe anymore. Look, Ramon, stay away from us. I mean it. That was the first one. The second message was, I don't know what to say since Tutor is gone. This shit don't sit right with me. Call it what you want, but I'm good, period. Nigga, I thought about it, and you can pass it. What? So then the third message, she says, look, don't call me. Don't explain shit. I already see it. Now she's mad. Oh, this hoe is mad right now. She is super mad. And let me tell y'all why she's mad. Let me tell you why this hoe is mad. Tell you why she's mad. All before she was presented with them text messages. Well, those particular messages, she saw those messages because police had said he was going over there to pick up NaZiyah's tablet so they could investigate it. So she plugged up NaZiyah's tablet. She went through it. She ran across the messages from NaZiyah to Jarvis and from Jarvis to NaZiyah. But prior to that, she was defending the hell out of NaZiyah. She was defending the hell out of Jarvis, should I say. Excuse me, guys. So, knowing Jarvis' prior history with kids, this bitch still don't believe he had any involvement with in NaZiyah's disappearance. They asked her, did she see NaZiyah on January 9th? She said, oh yeah, I saw her. So she went on to describe what NaZiyah was wearing that day. She went on to say that on this day, she never left the house. She saw everything that was happening. She never left the house that day. She said she was there with her mom and her 2 children all day. She said NaZiyah would normally stay for after. This is where it really get fucked up. She said NaZiyah would normally stay for after school programs and she would get home around 6 o'clock. Other days is around 3:20. She said, but on January 9th, there was no after school program because the grandmother had pulled her out. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. So if you knew at that time that the grandmother had pulled NaZiyah out of after school programs and NaZiyah rides the goddamn bus home for 2 grown goddamn women, make me understand why neither one of y'all recognize that NaZiyah was not off that bus and in that house by 3:20. Something ain't right. So she said NaZiyah never came home at 3 o'clock or any time thereafter. She said the other children came into the house. She said her mom had left to go pick the other children up from the after school program. So why are you making a difference with these children? It's okay for Shannon's children to be in the after school program, but not NaZiyah? Make me understand that. So y'all were mistreating NaZiyah from the gate. NaZiyah suffered much abuse in that house with you goddamn animals. So she said when her mom went to pick up those children from the after school program, she said the grandma was still sitting outside in the car and she sent the kids in the house to ask Shannon, did NaZiyah come home yet? She told her children to go tell her grandma no. So wait a minute. What reason would the grandma park the car in the driveway, send the kids in to ask if NaZiyah came home yet, if she had never been to the house to know that NaZiyah was never there? Bitch, y'all lies ain't lying no more. How could you sit there, ma'am? Ma'am, So Shannon goes on to say that later that night she called her twin sister. She called her twin sister. She said she called a few friends of NaZiyah that lived close by, asking them had they heard or seen NaZiyah. She said everybody said no. Nobody's seen NaZiyah. Nobody. That's what she says. So she asked her mom. She said she asked her mom, should she call the police? She said her mama said no. We ain't gonna call no police. I'm gonna handle that in the morning. Wow. Ain't that some shit? So Shannon went on to say that on January 9th, she said that on January 9th, her mom and her older sister left the home to make the missing persons report. So they asked her, what was her role in helping to locate NaZiyah? She said, oh, I passed out flyers. I made some flyers. I passed out some flyers. No way. Call the police, you dumb bitches. Right, Sierra? We covered that one. Becca, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for them to get her. Darlene says it was on her if the grandma and aunt went to sleep and never even called the police. That exactly. They were not concerned of that child at all. And that made them look guilty as shit. Alita says it made me angry that she had to beg that monster to buy her. You born and raised in Detroit, but no longer lives there. Hope all my Detroiters watch this side. Girl, this is sick. Anybody that runs across these people, Right, Melanie? They did not give a fuck about her. Nene says at least they're guilty of negligence. They should be guilty of something. After this shit is over, they need to have their day in court. So Shannon went on to say that after she passed out her little flyers, so the defense went on to question Shannon, y'all. Shannon went on to tell him she's been with Jarvis for 12 years. The relationship remained sexual, even though it was off and on. She had 2 boys and 3 girls with Jarvis. Bitch, you sad. But y'all, look at Shannon. What more do you expect? Look the fuck at Shannon. Do Shannon look desirable to any goddamn body? No. So whatever Jarvis want, Jarvis go get. Because Shannon know goddamn well. Shannon is, hi mama cousin. Shannon knows goddamn, hi butter pecan. Welcome guys, welcome. I appreciate all my new visitors today. I hope each and every one of you have hit that like button, subscribed and shared. I would appreciate it very much. So, here we are. Shannon says Shannon says she claims she moved in with her mama in October of 2023. And NaZiyah was already living there because she had been there since an infant. Shannon says that she wasn't aware that NaZiyah wasn't home until she was questioned by those quick kids around 6 o'clock. Y'all, 6 o'clock is a 3-hour difference from goddamn 3 o'clock. Whoo, this bitch says she said it didn't dawn on her or her mom that NaZiyah was missing because they thought she was on an after school program. Wait a fucking minute. How the hell could NaZiyah be in an after school program when you bitches testified earlier that the grandma, Annette raggedy ass, had already pulled NaZiyah out the goddamn after school program? You raggedy bitches need to make this shit make sense. A lie don't give a goddamn who tell it. Hey, Trees. Hi, Stacy. Welcome, guys. Welcome. A lie don't care who tell it. And Annette and this girl, Shannon, they telling some goddamn lies. So Shannon went on to say, this was NaZiyah's first time ever doing this. Ever. Woo. Saying it was our first time ever doing something like this. She said at times NaZiyah would use her phone. Now she's getting ready trying to pin some shit on NaZiyah. Check this shit out. These some sick hoes. Here it is now. Shannon. Because her mom, the night before, NaZiyah may have not been home, but these bitches rehearsed that story. They sit there and they rehearsed the story. So Shannon goes on to say that, NaZiyah never did no shit like this before. This is her first time ever doing some shit like this. She said, I would let NaZiyah use my phone. And, there was moments when Jarvis and I would get into it because he would be like, well, why you keep calling my phone? She said, oh, no, it wasn't me call your phone. She said, I'd never call your phone. So then she tells the people, it must have been NaZiyah. Hi, beautiful and blessed. Welcome, love. Welcome. She said that, then she went on to say that Jarvis would still come over. He would come over sometimes. Now, listen to Shannon's testimony, y'all, and compare it to the mama's testimony, and then y'all go know, oh yeah, these bitches is really lying. Shannon said that Jarvis would come over. Sometimes he would park in the driveway. Other times he would knock on the door and come inside, visiting with her, but he was never alone with NaZiyah. Bitch, please. You got NaZiyah, Jarvis sitting in y'all presence. They both got electronic devices. They are texting one another in y'all goddamn presence, in y'all goddamn face. Hi, Miss Ebony BBW. Welcome, love. You got these two people in your house, in your presence, in your face. They both got electronic devices. They're texting one another, asking one another, okay, you ready? I'm ready. We going in the basement? Yeah, we going in the basement. It's time to fuck. That's what we doing. This happened in your goddamn house, bitch. In your face. Are y'all serious? So here she go. She said that she couldn't say for sure that Jarvis hurt NaZiyah, but you never know what a person would do if their back is against the wall. Shannon, you big bad shit bitch. How the fuck could you say this shit? Your niece is missing. You don't know if she's dead or alive. You don't know what's going on in this child's world. But still in Jarvis' goddamn defense. Latrice B, welcome, welcome. In this man's defense, you still defending this motherfucker. How the fuck could you sit up here and say you don't know what a person would do if their back is against the wall? Y'all some sick hoes. Y'all sick. She testified that she knew about Jarvis' other women. She knew about his other children. So she said that's how I knew this bitch sold her niece out to this man for sexual gratifications because he was sick of her. If you see the way Shannon look at the way Shannon shake, he was sick of her. So she said, before January 9th, she had a conversation with NaZiyah about a location on the east side of Detroit. NaZiyah asked her about Outer Drive. She said she gave NaZiyah directions to that specific location. She said NaZiyah came to her asking, where was Belford and Outer Drive? She said NaZiyah told her that she was asking those questions because she was confused. You know, the streets with the name Ford in it confused her. She said NaZiyah said that she needed that information because in school they were learning their surroundings. Then this bitch says she was very familiar with the area because that's where she would pick up Jarvis on the corner of Outer Drive and Belford. Now, this is the area where one of Jarvis' other goddamn women live. She said this conversation came up the week NaZiyah went missing. So she even gave testimony about NaZiyah's older brother, trying to deflect, trying to paint a picture on NaZiyah like it was NaZiyah. She told him about NaZiyah's older brother running away from the grandmother's home in early 2023. She said she never noticed nothing about NaZiyah's physical appearance or anything of that nature. NaZiyah had no changes. So, bitch, NaZiyah was in that house with y'all up until her disappearance. And you mean to tell me you lying to these people and telling these people you didn't recognize that NaZiyah was pregnant? Bitch, you knew she was pregnant. So my thing is, if they both claim that she was such a good kid and didn't give trouble, why wait until the next day to report her missing? I'm coming to the chat right now. We go talk about this. Dallas say, ain't no way I'm waiting till the next day to call the police about my child. Exactly, Dallas. Right, Butter Pecan. Shannon not sad. That bitch is sick. Mom of Cousins asks, did the prosecutor give them immunity because it seemed very weird on while they're not being charged or even hold up, Mom of Cousins? I think, and this is just my opinion, I could be very wrong. And if I am, I would like somebody to correct me. Now you're asking why were they not charged? They need them. They need them. This was just a preliminary hearing. This was only a preliminary hearing. Jarvis Butts goes on trial. As a matter of fact, this week, trial for him starts on January 16th. So they're not going to charge him right now. They need him. They need him. And that's my opinion. That's how I look at that. But I figure once all this is over, when all this is over, they're going to have a whole goddamn slew of them that's going to bite the dust. Because that whole shebang failed that child. Hi, Poker Peg. Welcome. That whole goddamn shebang failed that child. Becca said she should have posted it on social media. Becca, the funny thing about them flyers, to my understanding from what I've heard elsewhere, Shannon was posting flyers. Quilla Tidwell asked how was he around kids with the history he had. We're getting there. To my understanding, Shannon was posting flyers, but mysteriously, y'all, the flyers that she was supposedly putting up around the neighborhood, they mysteriously disappeared. Welcome, Poker. Welcome. It's your first time here. Thank you, my love. Thanks. First time here. Love your energy. Thank you so very much. Thank you. So, this is crazy to me. Shannon, big nasty ass, was putting up flyers, and the bitch was taking them down fast as she put them the fuck up. That's what I see. Right, Butter? We are all angry with this. Everybody's angry with this. Darling says, I'm getting to that too, darling. I got her testimony. I got all the goddamn testimonies. So, the crazy part in all of this, y'all, with this Shannon, with this big motherfucker, the crazy part in all of this is Shannon and NaZiyah were both pregnant at the same goddamn time. So she knew what was going on. I don't give a goddamn how many lies she tell. Bitch, you pregnant, your niece pregnant by your man. Shannon saw NaZiyah as competition. That's my opinion. Shannon looking the way Shannon looking, Shannon was jealous of NaZiyah. They would sit there. They would call NaZiyah ugly. They would call her nappy head. They would call her every name in the book. Because Shannon, big humpback ass, had children by this pedo that was of a mixed breed, that had some decent hair. So this big whale thought she was in a position to downplay her own niece. Bitch, you sick. So hearing cousins and aunts talk about this shit, the family dynamics, they said that if anyone knows where NaZiyah is at this time, they said Shannon knows. And the reason they say Shannon knows is because Shannon felt that she had to do whatever Jarvis asked her to do. Shannon was Jarvis' number one go-to. Whatever Jarvis said, that's what Shannon done. Shannon would sell her own mom to keep a relationship with this pedo. She was jealous as hell of her niece. And I believe, that is my opinion and mine alone, that Shannon set this child up. Shannon fed her niece to this nigga. She knew what the fuck was going on. Bitch, you go rot for that. You go rot. Right, mom of cousins? That's what she said. They had took the child out of the after school program. Sierra says Shannon got kicked out of her house in Clinton Township because of Jarvis. Her aunt let her stay there, so she moved with Annette. Well, I'll be goddamn. You ain't revealed that, Shannon. I knew your big ass was in Clinton Township, bitch, but I didn't know why. Now we know why. Nobody wanted his ass standing around, so Shannon, you couldn't even keep a house because of this goddamn pedo. Bitch, you knew. Melanie says, darling, the sister looked like she wanted to spit on him from the stand. Oh, girl, I applaud that sister. I applaud Jarvis' sister. But I'm going to get to that. I want to read some of these comments before I move on to my next phase of this shit. Hi, little miss. Welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you here. Little miss says they all got lies and need to be locked up. Facts. Right, beautiful and blessed. And the bitches went to sleep. They went to sleep. Stacey, I'm with you. More rest. They got to be coming. Darling says last month, NaZiyah dad said in an interview that the grandmother said she was always running away. Darling, I heard that. The bitch lied. She lied. She lied. She lied. That Annette, bitch, you are a piece of work. Annette, you are garbage. But Annette, what makes you even more garbage, Annette? Annette, your husband, the one that ain't with you right now. Annette, I heard in podcasts, allegedly, from your relatives speaking, Annette. You know? Annette, your people talking all over this goddamn internet, Annette. Annette, your houses and everywhere you've ever lived, the people you've dealt with, Annette, you live in a house of horrors, babe. Nothing but incestual things goes on, Annette. Anything that's attached to you, Annette, is incestual. Annette, didn't your husband, Annette, essayed a niece of yours, a daughter of yours, and when they went to you, Annette, to tell you about it, Annette, what did you tell them? They thought they was coming to tell you something that you didn't know about your goddamn man. Annette, you told these people. Well, why you just didn't do what he asked you to do? Annette, you're a sick bitch. You're a sick bitch, Annette. But them people go fix your ass, bitch. Hi, Shaniqua. Welcome, 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 everybody that's new to my chat. I am so glad to have you all. Please make sure you guys hit that like button, share, subscribe, and if you can, grab a membership. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Butter Pecan says, if my child isn't home after 30 minutes of the time they're supposed to be there, I'm calling people. If they ain't seen them, hell yeah. Call them goddamn police on your children. If they're, because look, that's what a decent parent does. That's what a decent parent does. Who is these goddamn people? How do you people allow, look, Annette couldn't be my fucking neighbor. No kind of goddamn way. Shannon big ass could not even be next to me in a goddamn grocery store. You hear me? I promise you, these bitches wouldn't be ready to get on the witness stand. Street justice is a motherfucker. No, Shannon. No, Annette. This is not how this shit works. Thank you, Sierra. Sierra says, I love your page. You're speaking facts. Thank you so much, my love. Butter girl, I'm going to get to them text messages. The text messages between the monster and Zanaya just disgust me. Girl, I'm going to get there, girl. Girl, hang tight. I love you guys because you guys are so y'all so active. Latrice B says, hi, everyone. I'm new to the chat. I've been following this story since March of 2024. It is truly sad. So many people failed this child. Hi, Doris. Welcome, my love. Welcome. I'm so happy to have all you beautiful people here. Darlin says he was caught stealing the child's panties up, Darlin, and they did nothing about it. And he told it to her in the message that he stole her panties. Shannon, you bitch. Melanie said, fat asses over there eating churches and drinking. Yes, ma'am. Right, Becca? Becca said, sounds like a lot of me. Jarvis would not be coming to the house. This is fucking crazy. Sierra said his first wife left him because he touched her daughter. Yes, Sierra, yes. Right now, this says Jarvis Butts has 22 kids and counting. And the majority of the children belongs to underage girls. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Nene said society failed her and all the children who was unalive by the hands of crazy people. Right, Nene? Right, Stacy? Girl, let's talk about it. Stacy says Jarvis also touched Shannon's daughter and she did nothing. I just finished saying that. Shannon will do anything, and the bitch did anything to keep a goddamn pedo. That's who Shannon is. Shannon is undesirable. Shannon looks a mess. Shannon will do anything for Jarvis to give her just a little attention. Because again, like I said, look at Shannon. Right, Sierra? Jarvis gave an STD to a 4-year-old, and that was his own goddamn child. His own child. Everybody turned a blind eye. Look, Becca says Jarvis touching on little girls, he should not have been allowed to come around. Look, y'all, fuck not being able to come around. Just knowing Jarvis touching on little girls, Jarvis would have been missing. Jarvis would have been missing. The fuck? How the hell you sit there? You know this motherfucker touching on children. And you going along on about your everyday goddamn business like this shit is normal. Ain't no normalcy to that shit. Jarvis, Annette, and Shannon. We'd have been reading about them in a book. It's this shit, man. Stacy says they need to take them other kids away. Trial starts Thursday. Girl, I'm ready for that trial on Thursday. And I'm wondering now, because maybe the judge didn't play, but I'm wondering if now they have into play CPS coming across the board and taking all of them goddamn children out of that goddamn house. Because these people don't deserve no goddamn children. Melanie says, I can't wait for the trial. I'm about to be in the chat and all. Girl, I'm on it. That trial starts Thursday. And look, I could have came out here every day, after every day of trial, giving commentary. I refuse because I needed it all. Mom of Cousin says, did the prosecutor say they wouldn't charge nobody else in the case? The case is no. It was never mentioned. It was never mentioned. V says, my baby girl bus be 10 minutes late and I'm checking the location. Yes, ma'am. That's what a real mother do. That's what a real parent does, V. These bitches are sick. Dr. J says, sadly, some women are pitiful when it comes to love and companionship. That's beyond pitiful. That's beyond pitiful. Becca says little NaZiyah body nope, Becca still haven't been found. Still haven't been found. Right, Poker? They didn't give 5 fucks. Poor baby. Sarah says Jarvis told Shannon he went to jail for child molestation and she stayed and protected him. Shannon is a desperate bitch. Shannon is a desperate bitch. Look at the way Shannon look. Huh. They lucky that's all that came out of this shit. Darlin says, I agree. After the judge called them asses out, more Granny and Auntie going to be charged with gross negligence at the very least? Hell yes. They need to be charged with something. And they need to serve good time behind that bullshit. Latrice B says, the sad part is when people in the community started doing searches 6 weeks later, it was people in the neighborhood who weren't even aware NaZiyah was missing. Well, ain't that a bitch? But that goes to show you. Then I told y'all that bad shaped bitch was putting out flyers and taking them down fast as she put them out. Nene says you nailed it right on target, Mocha. She wanted her not alive, and she 100% knew he was essaying that little girl. The big bitch was jealous. She didn't mind. Listen, she didn't mind trading off her niece with that pedo of a man. She didn't mind that. It became a problem. It became a problem once that little girl knew she was pregnant. That's when the problem came in. Jarvis Butts did not want that baby to talk. Jarvis Butts knew that he was supposed to be going to jail on the previous charge. Jarvis would have been in jail in February on another charge, right? So Jarvis did not want this baby to say that he was the father of her goddamn baby. So before I give her an opportunity to snitch me out and me get another charge for doing some shit that I've already been charged with years and years ago, let's just get rid of this shit. But he had no idea. He had no idea that she wouldn't be alive to tell a story. Something went terribly wrong, and we're going to get to that. Poker Peg says, after the judge spoke, who was yelling in the court? It was a family member. It was a family member. Right, Sierra? Of all the damn women Jarvis had, Shannon, big ass, truly was a pick-me bitch. That's who the fuck she was. Right, Melanie? Melanie says, I think King was trying to keep his nose clean, but he knew 100%. Melanie, he knew. King knew. Right, Stacy? I saw that. Stacy says Shannon lost so much weight, I wonder why. That's karma. Eating her ass alive. Eating her big ass alive. Well, she ain't big no more. Did she ever give birth to that baby? These bitches. So let me move on. Let me keep moving. Miss Ebony, I believe that. Miss Ebony says, I read someone saying Annette was messing with Butts. Girl, our house of fucking dysfunction. I believe that. Annette's father molested Shannon, and they tried to, I heard that shit too. I heard it. See, after I give you all of this shit here as to what happened within this trial and the outcome of this shit here, I'm going to break down. Hi, Internet Smith. Thank you for coming by, love. Look, I'm going to break this shit down on this family dynamic. This family was sick. And I mean way down the line type of sick shit. Everybody gonna have their own little section because they all got some fucked up shit going on with them. I'm gonna do just that. I'm so glad my new subscribers. I am so pleased to hear that you guys feel so welcome here. I love it. I love it. Here we're family. Here we're authentic. Here we talk about everything. You know, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a voice. Anybody can be heard here in my chat at any time while we're discussing something, even such as this tonight. If anyone feels that they want to chime in, have anything to say, look, I have no problems whatsoever dropping that link, and you guys could hit that panel with me and you could share your take on it as well. I don't mind, because this is who we are. This is what we do here. So for my new subscribers, thank you. Annette, welcome, love. I'm glad you love it, my channel. I appreciate you. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, girl. I appreciate your support from day one. I love you. So, guys, here we go. Of course, Stacey King knows what the fuck is going on. He knows. They all know. Doris says she was afraid of CPS and Jarvis hanging around. To my knowledge, CPS ain't had no contact with them fucking people. Make me understand. If the grandma, Annette, if this bitch is supposed to be a foster parent, right? If this bitch is supposed to be a foster parent, why the hell is CPS or whoever the fuck else over there, why are they not out there checking that house? Why are they not there interviewing those children? Why are they not there doing what they're supposed to do? Make me understand that. Why CPS failed the fuck out of that girl? The list goes on and on and on with these motherfuckers that fail NaZiyah. So I tell you guys what, today and every day thereafter, we are voices for NaZiyah. We are NaZiyah's voices. Because, baby, check this out. There could be so many other goddamn NaZiyahs out there at the hands of motherfuckers like Jarvis Butts. And these desperate bitches closing their eyes, turning their heads, all because they want a goddamn man. All because they want a goddamn man. You bitches are terrible in this world. Let me move a little further, child, because I be talking my ass off. Sierra says, let's talk about the Auntie Roxy. Girl, don't you talk about that fucking GoFundMe. Roxy made a goddamn GoFundMe account for NaZiyah. Yes, she's also telling people to help her brother get a house and a car. Like, bitch, what? Roxy, you gonna stop this shit, bitch. You gonna stop that, Roxy. You see, that's where shit gets ugly. Here they are preying on a horrible situation for a come up. These people are some goddamn scrubs. They are truly some scrubs. Darling says, Annette said he never came inside the house, so how he steal her panties? Just girl, exactly. Jarvis sent a text message to that baby. She wasn't home at the time. Jarvis sent her a text message and told her, I got your panties. Annette, you are a lying bitch. You are a lying. Doris, I heard that too. Jarvis liked men as well, allegedly. Poker says, didn't he go? Poker, they did it in the basement. That child, right, Dallas? That baby didn't have a chance. That baby did not have a chance. So, I'm going to stop right there. We ain't ending this line. I'm just stopping right there, me reading these comments. Mocha's going to move on. So, after Shannon testified, The police officer that Annette met at the school the next morning, he got up there and he didn't have much to say. All he said was he took a missing persons report on January 10th. He took a missing persons report from Annette. That's what I don't understand. Ain't shit legal about that. Ain't nothing was done proper. You took a police report, bitch. And they should have never even called your ass to be on that stand for shit. You took a police report. You drove around the school. You drove where she would get off the bus at. And you spoke to a few of her friends. And that's where that stayed for a while until they decided to contact Detroit Police Department. So this shit stayed at the school on the campus for quite some time. Man, what the fuck? So then there was a lady, the next person, because I got all these people that testified, guys. The medical examiner's office, she helped the department at the scene, and she said officers found some shit near 7 Mile and Bird. And that was just east of Telegraph Road. She said while she was there, she took pictures of items that was collected. It was evidence that they found of NaZiyah. She said they found a pink onesie, some red and black Nike tennis shoes, and a pair of earphones that was found inside of a sweatshirt. So at this time, here we are. Everybody know, Jarvis, you bitch, you done some shit. So the goddamn fiance, that fiance, my Jesus. Tashana Davis, she testified. She said she knew Jarvis since 2019. That's another big goofy bitch. Another big goofy bitch. She said she knew Jarvis since 2019. She said it became engaged in 2023. They have no kids together. She said that Jarvis would stay the night often, but he didn't live with her. He never lived with her. The state asked her, was there a time that Jarvis asked her to drive him to court? She said, yeah. She said in January and February of 2024, he asked her to drive him to court. She said she drove him in January because he thought he was going to be booked that day, but the court proceedings was rescheduled. And in February, the same thing. On the drive to court in February, she said she asked Jarvis about his cell phone. He said that he left it at home. So she proceeded to the courthouse where, Jarvis was detained at that time. She testified that sometimes later, she was in a hospital, and the next thing she knew, she was contacted by the police department. They questioned her, asking, did she know anything about the missing child? They asked if she knew anything about, Good night, Nikki. Thank you for stopping by, my love. They asked if she knew anything about the missing child. So, as well as they asked her about, his cell phone. She testified that when they asked her about the cell phone, she could only tell them what Jarvis told her. And the next thing she knew, they returned with a search warrant and confiscated her fucking vehicle. That's what happened. She testified also that when she met Jarvis 4 years ago, he worked at the garage. Everybody met Jarvis at fucking Frank's. She said he was very secretive of his phone. She said, and she knew why he was secretive, because he had multiple other women. So she said she wanted to go through his phone, but Jarvis was so protective, she couldn't get to the phone. She said that even though she knew of the other women, she stayed with him. Listen at this bullshit. She had no children by Jarvis. She had no children by Jarvis. But she stayed with Jarvis because according to her, he was good. He was good with her kids. He would take them places, according to her. He was a good father. No, she said he was a good father figure. Another desperate bitch. And if y'all notice, all those women, the women that testified, girlfriends, whatever, they all look the fuck alike. So Jarvis really had a goddamn type. He had a type. So she testified that she never saw anything in him that deemed inappropriate or sent red flags when it came to children. And why was that? Because she too was desperate for a goddamn man. She testified that she knew Jarvis had children with a woman named Angel and another one named Shannon. She said that when he would come over, she's now listening to this bullshit. Jarvis would come over twice a week, showing up at 10, 11 o'clock at night and always leaving between 2 and 3 in the morning. Bitch, that was not your man. That was not your man, bitch. That was a booty call. Any goddamn time a man is going to go to your house at 10, 11 o'clock at night and leave at 2. Bitch, how can you tell me? How can you tell the courts? How can you tell any goddamn body that that was your fiance? You a slow bitch. A slow bitch. She said that Jarvis drove a Cadillac Escalade sometimes. And he would park it around the corner and walk to her house. Bitch, I would have been embarrassed. I would have never told that shit to no fucking body. I'd have never said that. She said she questioned why he would do that. And she said he would lie in her face and said, oh no, I don't park around the corner. I don't drive. You know I don't drive. So she said he's feeding her that bullshit, but yet she's seen his truck. Child, she said that Jarvis has a place or had a place that he called home on Wilshire. She said, of course, she's been to the house on the apartment, whatever the fuck it was, on Wilshire. Now, he lives on Wilshire. She is his fiance, but she told them white folks, but y'all know what? I never been inside his house. Well, bitch. How the hell you his fiance? He could come and go as he pleased to your house, but you can't go in where he live. You a slow hoe. Ooh-wee. This bitch said any and everything. She's another Shannon. Just to have a goddamn man. Just to have a man. Woo-hoo. Becca says, having teenagers, you don't let no man be hanging around your house. Hell, Becca, not even teenagers. Little girls, little boys, none of that shit. You don't have none of that shit around your goddamn children. These goddamn men, and who the hell they say it is, they don't make men like that no more. Jarvis around here being with women and goddamn men. Oh no, he was sick. Right, Nick? Oh, Nick done gone. But I'm with her because that's where the fuck I'd have been. I ain't lying. Right, Shaniqua? He had babies by babies. Cocoa Butter says Jarvis definitely should be on a milk carton. Oh, Jarvis ain't met the right one because Jarvis would have been on a goddamn milk carton. Yes, Bridget. Bridget asked the question. So she was pregnant when she came up missing? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Bridget. NaZiyah and Shannon both pregnant at the same time. V says sacrificing your babies for a man is sick as fuck. Hell yeah. Shaniqua, I did too. Shaniqua says, I cried when that detective read the messages. Mama cousin says I would be on trial and he would be missing. Girl, I think we all. Hi, Annette. Welcome. She said, this makes me sick. Everybody. Poker Peg says, how many checks they getting in food stamps? These bitches work the system. And just looking at them, there's some system bitches. Stacy said, yes, she was pregnant when she came up missing. 5 to 6 months pregnant, exactly. Alita said, I cried too when the girl. Whew. Right, Doris, they had a chain on her refrigerator. Darling says CPS at fault also. Granny lost her own kids to CPS. She should have never been allowed to adopt that girl. That's what I said, darling. After I heard all that I heard, there's no fucking way Annette should have had no goddamn children. Never. Excuse me. That's crazy. Sierra said there was a Facebook picture of Annette at the grocery store, and behind her there was 2 kids. The fact that there are kids still in Annette's care is sickening. It's the system. It's the system. Something is the fuck wrong in Detroit. That's all I could say. That's all I could say. Where's the councilman? Where are the activists? Where are the people that's supposed to be protecting children? Because goddamn it, just a couple of weeks ago, here in Detroit, all over the news again. How the fuck these people got these 2 little boys sleeping on this goddamn porch in below 10-degree weather? Detroit, something is terribly wrong. Right, Melanie, that detective was choking that girl. Alita says, ain't no dick that good to a monster around. Girl, Jarvis could have kept that sick dick. Welcome back, Lucille. Jarvis could have kept that sick dick because his shit was sick. Years ago, you bitch, you gave a baby chlamydia, motherfucker. So that meant your dick been sick for a long time, you nasty motherfucker. But yet these women going round and round and round. Y'all going round and round and round, playing these nasty ass games with the same goddamn man. Get the fuck out of here. Shaniqua says, I'm hella mad how he's sitting there with his head down and his chest sunk in. Nigga, sit up with your chest out like when you was free. Hell, look, Shaniqua, not just sitting there with his head hanging down. Did you hear that nigga sounding like a bitch in that jailhouse calls? Well, you was a big bad man. You was touching children. You was doing every goddamn thing that you wanted to do, bitch. But now you in jail, you talking like a bitch. You get in court, you sitting up there like, nah, nigga. Quilla says, I have a feeling Shannon's daughter gonna tell. She gotta say, Quilla. And the reason she gotta say something, Quilla, the reason, because she was touched too by Jarvis, her own fucking daddy. Antoinette says, pause. He did something with a 4-year-old. Hell yes, ma'am. Gave her a whole STD. Mom of cousin says, yeah, about her taking down flies and stuff like that. You know, I thought it was kind of weird too. On her Facebook post that you only see her resharing somebody else's missing persons report. These bitches are sick. They didn't want her to come back. They should have searched that hotel also. Well, they said they did. Stacy, they said they searched the hotel. They tested mattresses and shit, mattress pads and shit. So, this shit is crazy. So the mother of Jarvis' 2-year-old daughter. The mother of Jarvis' 2-year-old daughter. Northern Dame, welcome, welcome. Everyone that just entered the chat, I welcome you. I thank you guys for coming by. Make sure you hit the like button. Please grab a membership. Please subscribe. I enjoy you all being here. Thank you for gracing me with your presence this evening. So, Miss Johnson, she testified that on August of 2024, she was interviewed by the police department in relation to Jarvis Butts. She said she knew him because he's the father of her 2-year-old daughter. She also has a 7-year-old son. She testified that the police came to her home asking if she knew Jarvis and had she seen NaZiyah before. She testified that while they were there, they searched her home. She said they also looked into her car. And she testified that Jarvis had borrowed her car on January 9th. He claimed that he needed it to do something with his son. So he returned the car the next morning. She thought nothing of it. And she testified that when she and her son got in the car the next morning, she noticed her son playing with a pair of glasses that was left on the back seat of her car. She said that she asked her son to give her the glasses because she didn't know who they belonged to. She said this happened the next day while they were at Jarvis' shop. She said she had gone there because he was wanting to see his daughter. So she asked Jarvis, okay, Jarvis, who are these glasses for? She said at the time her son was still playing with them. She said Jarvis snatched the glasses out of her hand. And she found that odd. She said Jarvis said those glasses belonged to his son. The very next day, Jarvis goes back to her and borrows her car with the same goddamn story about his son. So she said that in February of 2024, Jarvis called her from jail, asking her about her car. So when Jarvis called her from jail in February of 2024, prosecutors played a recording from that jailhouse phone call where Jarvis wanted her to clean up the car and wipe everything down, then instructed her to use her mama's car and leave hers parked. Jarvis, you ain't shit. How the fuck you gonna take my car, bitch? Go commit a goddamn crime, fuck it up on the inside and on the outside because you wrecked that woman shit. And then they're gonna lock your ass up and you're gonna instruct me to clean it up. You a motherfucker, Jarvis. You a motherfucker, Jarvis. She testified that she knew that she was not the only woman, another dummy. She knew that she wasn't the only woman he was involved with. She said that she was aware of NaZiyah being missing, but had no idea that Jarvis was involved at that time. But she did mention to the detectives that when they questioned her, that the glasses she found in the car looked similar to the ones that NaZiyah had on in the missing persons flyer. She said that he pretty much lied to her about everything, even his involvement with all those women while being involved with her. In my opinion, it wasn't about the little girl being missing, her sitting her ass on that stand. She looked like she was more disappointed because she realized that day through all those goddamn testimonies that she was not the only fucking woman. That these women are pathetic. Pathetic. Ooh, baby. So, all through this trial, they even had a Shannon's daughter, and I'm assuming it was Shannon's daughter because it was a minor that testified, a minor cousin. And she testified that she was in a room with another cousin while Jarvis took advantage and had sex with NaZiyah. The little cousin said that wasn't the first time she saw Jarvis coercing sex on her cousins. He did it to many cousins. She testified that he tried to make advances toward her at one point, but she was able to say no after recognizing what he had done to the rest. Jarvis, you a nasty motherfucker. And your day is definitely coming. Definitely coming. So, at that hotel, I'm ahead of myself, but it's okay. They were still picking up evidence, because NaZiyah was gone. They took swabs from several articles of clothing from both NaZiyah and Jarvis. And to answer the question that was asked earlier, they did take DNA from a mattress pad and a cover at that hotel. These people are sick. Jarvis Butts is a fucking monster. He don't deserve to be nowhere on these streets. And when I say nowhere on these streets, Jarvis Butts' sister got on that stand as well. Hi, Cat Banks, welcome. Jarvis Butts' sister got on that stand as well, y'all. She was the only one out of all of those goddamn people on the witness stand that showed emotion. Jarvis Butts' sister, she was not related to NaZiyah. That lady was in tears. She had no relations to NaZiyah, but she was a mother. She had a heart. She cared, and everybody saw it. She had more feelings than the grandma. She had more goddamn feelings than Shannon, big funky ass. She was the only one with feelings. And I applaud her for that. And I knew that Jarvis' sister, it hurt the piss out of her to sit there and talk about her brother the way she did. But she knew he was a fucking monster. And she probably felt it was better off that his ass get locked up and never see the light of day again than to stay out here and continually hurt children. She encountered NaZiyah at that goddamn shop. She asked Jarvis who was the child and what she was doing there. Jarvis lied to his own goddamn sister. He told his sister that was King's niece. But then she listened to a podcast about missing NaZiyah. Then something rang in her head. She goes back to the shop the next day to discuss it. Jarvis wasn't there, so she spoke with King. King confirmed that child that she saw at that shop the day before was definitely NaZiyah. So being a woman, having a heart, she sat there and she gave her brother the fuck up. I applaud that sister. I applaud that sister. She did the right goddamn thing. And that's how I feel about that. She did the right thing. Dr. J asks, did Jarvis serve time after giving his biological daughter STD? Jarvis did a 10-year prison stint. Jarvis did a 10-year prison stint on charges similar to what the fuck he going through right now. Little Miss said they found some child remains not too far from where the clothes were found. So we watching to see who that is. Right. We waiting. His ass, like I said, Jarvis' trial starts on Thursday. We shall see. Cocoa Butter said, girl, Cocoa Butter, I'm about to get to that shit right now. Okay, y'all, here we go. And then I'm going to tackle these questions because, baby, we got Q's and A's in this bitch tonight. Okay, Sergeant Shannon Jones. That was the last person to testify in this fucking case. At the beginning of her testimony, she explained that she inherited the case from the Detroit Police Schools Community District Police Department. And all the red flags that stood out to her from the start. She said, for number one, she had never, when the grandmother said, she said the first red flag she saw, Annette said she had never been missing before. There's been no updates on any of her social media, which is very uncommon for a teenager, but there had been a last known contact that she possibly met somebody. Now that's the story Shannon and Annette was putting out there. That NaZiyah possibly met somebody. Y'all some sick bitches to do that to your own goddamn. No. And she said that's what they told her. And they said that, you know, it was in a text message that NaZiyah met up with somebody. How could Annette or Shannon possibly know this when it was said by the both of them bitches that when they would check her tablet, they found nothing? So you bitches need to stop. Just stop. The sergeant went on to say that they searched the River Rouge, an area where clothing items like a shoe was found, and later determined it to match one belonging to NaZiyah. She stated that investigators executed at least 20 search warrants in this case, including for electronic devices belonging to Jarvis Butts. So when they started digging in his electronic devices, they found text messages and Google searches that was retrieved and were very questionable. Those were Google searches from December 2023, 1 month prior to NaZiyah's disappearance. They believe that the Google searches surrounds the fact that he impregnated her and tried to cover his fucking tracks. Shannon Jones explains how they narrowed Jarvis Butts as the suspect. Through text messages, cell phones that he used, locations he visited around the time NaZiyah was missing, they used phone mapping of his phone to canvass the 7 Mile and Berg area where identifying clothes of NaZiyah was located at the scene. Investigators tracked down Jarvis' phone after listening to a jail call between him and his partner, Cardell Wright. The phone was later found hidden in a Cadillac that the police had already impounded. So Shannon Jones had a copy of all the text messages exchanged between Jarvis and NaZiyah, dating back from 2022. Prosecutors highlighted certain messages for her to read aloud in the preliminary hearing on January. The messages was on January 9th. The text messages revealed Jarvis sending explicit messages and requesting nude photos from NaZiyah. Text messages in 2023 revealed NaZiyah being pregnant and talked about having trouble in school that day and said it was due to the baby that she was carrying. Now, guys, follow along as I go through these messages, because beginning September 27th, here we go. December 27th, 2022, NaZiyah sends a text message to Jarvis. NaZiyah says, "Come on, you okay? Where are we doing it at? Your choice." Ain't that something for a 13-year-old to say? Jarvis responds to her, "You tell me. You tell me where we gonna do it at." Hi, Ethic TV. Welcome, my love. NaZiyah responds to Jarvis, "We could do it in the basement." NaZiyah says, "You sure? Or if we can't do it in the basement, we could do it on your job." So this was a text message on September 22nd, 2022. 22. So in that very same text message, Jarvis texts her and he says, "Can you suck my dick, please?" Motherfucker. Then he instructs her to erase the messages. NaZiyah, at this time, being groomed and so invested in Jarvis, she knew what to do without him even asking her or telling her. When he said, "Make sure you erase the messages," her response was, "Okay, that's what I plan to do." That's what I had planned to do. Right, Melanie? At that time, she was 12. Son says there's a gap in their texting from October to January. Right, son? That's what I said. There's another goddamn phone somewhere. So here we go. On June, well, no, actually, the texting, what happened was, even if there's not another phone somewhere, the prosecutor only highlighted certain text messages for the witness to read. They did not read all the messages. It was only a few. So on June 5th, 2022, another text message went out. Jarvis texts NaZiyah. Jarvis says, "I'm at your house." NaZiyah says, "No way. Damn, we were just there. You better not be in my room either." So NaZiyah says again, "Hey, I need another phone." Jarvis never replied. NaZiyah says, "I miss you." Jarvis never replied. She says, "Hey, are you there?" Jarvis replied. This is what Jarvis says. "I just stole a pair of your panties." So, bitch, you in the house, you in the room. Come on, come the fuck on. June 24th, 2022. Another text message. Jarvis sends this to NaZiyah. Jarvis says, "Send me some pictures, please." NaZiyah says, "Don't you still got the other picture I sent you?" Jarvis says, "No." NaZiyah says, "Okay, I'll send you some." Damn. So Jarvis says on June 27th of that same year, Jarvis says, "Are you naked yet?" NaZiyah says, "No, I don't want to get naked." "Are you mad? Are you going to get mad because I didn't get naked?" Jarvis replies, "Oh, I'm used to you telling me no." NaZiyah says, "Come on, babe. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the mood right now. I'm so sorry." Jarvis ignored her. He never replied. The next highlighted text message was September 26, 2023. NaZiyah texts Jarvis, "Babe, you up?" "Yeah." "No." Jarvis never answered. NaZiyah tells Jarvis on September 26th, "Babe, my period never came at all." "Hello, you there?" Jarvis types in all caps and asks NaZiyah, "What you mean?" Funny, not funny, Mocha. NaZiyah says, "It have not come yet. It have not come." Spelled, spoken, and typed just like a 12-year-old. Jarvis says, "Well, since when it never came?" NaZiyah says, "Since I was in a hospital, you remember?" Jarvis says, well, that was last month. NaZiyah says, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I have to go to the doctor tomorrow. So Jarvis says to NaZiyah, but you said you took a pregnancy test, right? And it was negative? NaZiyah says, I did. It was negative. Jarvis tells NaZiyah, so go get another one. Go get another one. NaZiyah says, I can't. I have no money. You go get one. You ain't scared. You got a plan B for me before. So go get a pregnancy test and bring it later today. Just act like you have to use the bathroom. Please, will you do it? Hello? Are you there? Hello? Jarvis finally answers. Okay. So, next text message, November 27th, 2023. NaZiyah says, I just want to talk. I really don't want to lose you. Can we talk later? Yes or no? Oh, Lord. Yes or no? I remember that in the 5th grade. I don't know what your problem is, but I need you to bring me what I need tonight. It's hard doing all this gym shit with this baby. And if I don't do them, I'm going to get an F. So what is NaZiyah asking this man for? So on January 9th, 2024, this is the final text between the two before she went missing. NaZiyah texts Jarvis, don't forget, be there before 3. I will let you know when I'm leaving the school. If you're not there, I'll just wait. No answer from Jarvis. NaZiyah says, send okay if you see the messages so I can delete your number. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Jarvis texts okay. Then his internet search history was revealed. He was identified through Google with locations, IP addresses, and email addresses as being the holder of the account that made the searches. A phone number and a birthday also was acquired through the process. The searches were on December 8th, 9th, and 8th, 9th, and 10th of 2023. On December 8th at 3:32 p.m., he searched, went to a website, and he put in the search bar, drink me and abort your baby, the herbal abortion tea by Maya. The next site he visited was on December 8th at 9:32 p.m. It was a Planned Parenthood site, and he typed in learn abortion, the abortion pill. He also searched the abortion pill, getting facts about the pill. He went on to continue searching Planned Parenthood, and he typed in, can I use herbs to have an abortion at home? He also searched over-the-counter medications for abortions. He also searched, how can I have an abortion using only misoprostol, whatever the hell that is. And his very last search was, can I drink red antifreeze to have an abortion? That was the end of that. That was the end of the day's testimony. So I'm gonna read my very last. I'm gonna take y'all down my very last trip, and then we're gonna discuss we're gonna discuss the chat and what y'all got going on. So after all of this testimony, all these people, all this fuckery, all this shit has been exposed, right? The judge, I love that judge. I love her. Judge Aaliyah Sabry with Detroit's 36th District Court says before the ruling, she wanted to speak on behalf of NaZiyah and on the community that failed her. She says, we may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 days, it appears that Jarvis Butts intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on NaZiyah, and it went south. And instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up. She went on to say that NaZiyah deserves so much more. She said, while I mentioned other people who failed NaZiyah, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole goddamn picture. She went on to say, specifically, Annette, Shannon, school officials. She accused them all of failing NaZiyah. She said, I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected. She wasn't given adequate attention, nor was that baby loved. I don't know where her father is. There was never a mention of his presence in her life. All these men that saw Jarvis always hanging out with young girls, they failed NaZiyah and so many other young girls. The school counselor who never showed up after NaZiyah asked to speak with someone and ended up on the floor that day, she went missing. They failed NaZiyah. She says at one point that she told Jarvis, at one point I thought you was so nigga, and that you had the brain of a 10-year-old. And that's why you were doing the shit you was doing. But the more I heard, you are a true definition of a pedo. You ruined NaZiyah. You played mind games with her. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed to so much at such a young age. The text messages between the two of you were disgusting to hear. NaZiyah deserved so much more. She pointed out that there was no mention of CPS and wondered about their involvement with that family. She called Annette's testimony questionable. She found it hard to believe that this lady could ever tell the truth. She said, always sending those girls to the shop raised questions from Shannon and Annette. She says, how can two women in that house not notice that NaZiyah was pregnant and not having a period anymore and asking a man to buy her pads? She stated what stood out the most was when NaZiyah didn't come home from school. And Annette waited the next fucking day to report her missing. That judge told Jarvis, bitch, ain't shit wrong with you. You've been declared a monster, and your ass will stand trial. So guys, this Thursday, we need to prepare to start watching this goddamn trial because Jarvis go have his day. Cocoa Butter said that motherfucker was Googling home abortions. This shit is messed up on so many levels. Poker Peg says, King playing stupid. No, I don't. Ain't that what some shit, Poker? King says he didn't see Jarvis in court. Well, King played the same fucking game Annette played. Nobody saw him in court. Nobody saw him in court. I'm going to go through the messages, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop my link. If anyone has something that they want to say, want to share, want to add to what I've already done, I would appreciate it. Hey, this is what we do over here. So I'm going to continue to go through the messages in the chat. Melanie says, Poker Pet, look his interview up. It's separate from the trial. I think they missed today. I think so. Well, his interview, yeah, it was separate from the trial. I did see his interview. And he downplayed every goddamn thing in his interview. Shaniqua says, 40 years of sickness. Let me tell you all something. I tells the story. I give my commentary the way that I give my commentary. Because this is my comfort zone. But y'all, shout out to 7 Mile Radio. If you guys go and follow that brother pertaining to this case or any other interesting case in Detroit, this brother do the legwork. This brother shows the refrigerator with the chain. This brother has even did interviews on top of interviews on top of interviews with every fucking family member of Annette. He even had the interview of NaZiyah's biological dad. So if you all get the chance, I would invite you all, encourage you all to go to 7 Mile Radio and tell him Mocha sent you. Tell him Mocha sent you. 7 Mile Radio have all the information that if you 7 Mile Radio have shit that you will never see nowhere else. Because he's right there. He's right there. Shaniqua says, I'm loving how you keeping it real. Thank you, my love. Y'all were so engaged in this chat. Y'all were so engaged. I love the fact that you guys were so engaged. You guys, you guys are the reason I do what I do. Yes, Sheena, it is on YouTube. He's on YouTube. Deidre says that's guilt eating at her because she know that man abused that bitch. She knows that big bitch knows. Oh, look, somebody had already said it about 7 Mile. Latrice B. She says the 7 Mile Radio podcast did some great interviews back in March, and they are really the ones that put a fire behind getting the word out. Look, and he's still doing some shit. He's still doing some shit. I don't mind mentioning other channels. I don't mind mentioning other content creators. I don't mind because this is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. We're here to spread the word. We're here to spread awareness. You know, everybody have their own style of doing things. Everybody do things different. Other people like to show videos. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take what I saw. I'm going to take how I saw it. And I'm going to do it my way. Northern Dame says, I came in on the tail end, but I enjoyed and did sub. No, sweetheart, thank you. Thank you. I enjoy you all. I appreciate you all for being here for me. Sierra said, yes, I'm new to your channel. Just subscribe and I love you. Thank you, Sierra, and I love you even more, girl. And yes, Sheena, we thank Auntie Loretta for sending such beautiful people this way. That's my girl. Welcome, Soundscape. Shirley says, Mocha, you did a great job. Thank you, my love. Miss HP said they can turn their heads, but they have no idea what the fuck is in store for them. Facts, HP. It ain't over. It ain't fucking over. And they best know this shit. Bridget says, CPS ain't shit. They need to be held, yes, they need to be held accountable as well. Shaniqua says they probably interviewed the kids, but the story changed because they were coached what to say already, held to the yes. But I think they got one of the teenagers are going to give us some real shit. Somebody is going to give us some real shit. Stacy said, Lord, they say Shannon got a new car and put money on butt books in jail. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt if she put money on his books. They're around here with all these fake ass GoFundMe accounts. They are profiting off of this baby. They are profiting. Oh, this is crazy. These are some sick bitches. Shaniqua said them kids was trained because kids talk and no friends ever said nothing prior to this. Very much so. If y'all heard or if y'all would hear the way Annette cursed those children out in that soul save prayer circle, those children were afraid of Annette in that house of horror. Those children were fucking afraid of Annette. So Annette could kiss my ass when she's such a good grandmother. Bitch, kick rocks. Right, Stacey? Roxy's supposed to be a cousin. Dr. J said, yes, Mocha, it's peaceful over here. Thank you, my love. Let me tell you. A motherfucker like Jarvis Butts, he wouldn't be able to tell the story. Jarvis Butts wouldn't even be able to lay down and dream about the shit he done to somebody that was a part of me. And that's how I feel about that shit. Cat Banks says, CPS does a lot. I want to say more, but I'm not trying to get banned. I mean, Cat, if you feel the need to say something, my love, she says she tried not to get banned. What, Cat, look, I'm going to let you share whatever it is you want to say, babe. Come hop on a panel with me. Let's talk about it. I invite you to come up here with me, Cat, and we could talk about it, girl. Stacy said the judge said she talked with the boy who stayed in the house, and he told them Jarvis be in the house. Yes. Look, some more shit done popped up where, like I told y'all, go to 7 Mile. It done popped up where Jarvis, they got young men coming forward. Young men. Where Jarvis did the same thing to some young boys. Hi, Angela. She said, I just seen this and going to get caught up. This is sickening. Angela, girl. So yeah, Jarvis is even right now. If y'all, like I said, I encourage you all, and that's going to keep y'all up to date. That's going to keep y'all in the loop. That's going to keep y'all knowing exactly what's going on, because going to 7 Mile. Oh my God. Hi,
Hello.
Kat, you there, baby?
Hi everybody.
Hi, girl. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mocha. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking, my love. But if you
Okay, I
have a
wanted to say
voice,
this. Yeah, go
if
ahead,
you
go
have
ahead.
something to say, my platform is the platform to express yourself. I have no problems with that.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
When I heard this case, it really bothered me so deeply. Just knowing that the women, I can't fathom that these women knew everything. It's just no way. I was raised by my grandmother. She checked everything. She washed my
Right.
clothes. She knew
Right.
everything I was doing. I couldn't even talk to a boy or anything or thought I was doing something without her knowing. And I remember when she even
Exactly.
thought I was getting to an age of doing something, she brought me to the hospital to get checked. I'll never forget
Right.
that. And I didn't even do nothing yet. So I'm like, it's impossible that she couldn't ask for pads and things of that nature. Oh my God, it just hurts my heart. But the biggest thing when I think about CPS and stuff like that, because I was in the foster care system and everything before my grandmother got custody of me.
Uh-huh.
And I remember you're lucky if you get a few workers that care. You're lucky. Rest of the
Right.
workers, they don't care. And they're a part of the bad system that do things with, I don't want to say too much, but trafficking, because they know a lot. They know a lot too. This stuff goes higher up. It's not even just
Right.
in community. It goes other places, and they know of it. But
Right.
unfortunately, when it comes to our communities, people don't make as much of a fuss and stuff, so therefore they're able to get away with a lot more in our communities.
That's the problem.
Unfortunately.
And you see, that's the problem with us. That's the problem with black folks. All of that shit about, it happened in the house, keep it in the house. Are you people fucking
Hmm.
crazy? And that's the mentality they grew up with, holding all these damn secrets. Uh-oh, cat drop. She dropped. Let me drop the link again. But that's the problem with black people, y'all. All of these family secrets. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. And you know the hurting part in all of this. Okay, Kat, the hurting part in all of this. Even though her biological dad signed his rights off, and he was sad too. I don't give a fuck. You out there, you know the repercussions of fucking nigga. You was a grown ass man. Y'all made NaZiyah. You knew you had a wife when you made NaZiyah. So now you want to hide NaZiyah from your goddamn wife. And you figured by going to see NaZiyah on holidays and birthdays, that was going to make it better, knowing that child was in that suffering at the hands of monsters. You were paying child support. You were still giving her gifts on Christmas and holidays. That do not equate the shit that child went through. She needed you. But you say you was protecting your wife. You say you was protecting your wife. Come on now, get the fuck out of here. But the only thing I admire him for is when he did find out what was going on, it broke him. It broke him. And how he found out was a detective visited him in the hospital. This man had a heart condition. This man was operating at this time on 5% heart function. And even with a 5% heart function, that man still went out there and tried to do a little leg work. He did more than a grandma, more than Shannon. He went out there looking for NaZiyah. And he died. This man died in the process of looking for NaZiyah. Annette says, thank you, Mocha, for showing my comment. It makes me feel important. No problem, my love. Shaniqua says the wife knew when the child support papers came to the house. That's a yes, he said that. He said that he did not know that child support officers comes out. He said, but he learned that day. Antoinette said that girl who got them 5 children with him is something. Hell yeah, the bitch slow, Antoinette. She's slow. Let me see where Son says Jarvis is only alive so that he can. Son, Angela, thank you for the blessing, my love. Thank you. Son said he's only alive so that he can tell what happened. Son, I'm with you. I'm with you, son. After that, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, son. I believe that shit with everything. Darlin says, he said the grandmother kept things from him. He always knew her as a God. Darling, that was the scary part. He said he always knew her as a God-fearing woman. That man said, look, that man said that, and y'all could go listen to it because he's on 7 Mile. That's where I heard it. He explained that he had a really bad heart and he was operating on only 5%, right? So he said that when he was contacted by the police, he was in the hospital at the time. And he said it took him by complete surprise. Complete surprise. So he said the police asked him, was it okay for them to give Annette his phone number? He said he was surprised, but he didn't mind. He said, of course, give her my phone number. He said, because at that time, he had been going through a lot of medical issues. He was in and out of the hospital with his heart and whatever else. He said between his hospital stays and his stays in rehab, he said by the time he got released, he said he went to look for NaZiyah at the last place he knew her to be. And Annette did what Annette knows how to do, which is move every goddamn other year. So he said he lost contact. He lost contact because he couldn't find them. So when Annette finally contacts him, after the officers give Annette his number, he says, Annette sent pictures of NaZiyah. Now at this time, we all know NaZiyah is nowhere to be found. Annette sends him pictures of NaZiyah, telling him what a good kid she was. And she was doing well in school. Bitch, why? Why would you do this to this man, send him current pictures of NaZiyah, saying how well she's doing in school, but there's no more NaZiyah? This lady is sick. Oh, somebody's backstage and I didn't even see it. Oh, that's Kat. Hey, girl, you back?
Hey, Mocha. I'm sorry, I got disconnected.
That's okay, my love.
Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm quiet until you tell me I can talk.
That's okay. Go ahead, go, girl. I know how to play catch up. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, I have a real important question with everyone, right? Okay, yes, this man has been caught, and yes, the case is out here. But I'm concerned about the grandmother. Doesn't she still have foster children and children in that house?
To my
And
understanding, she
if
does.
yeah, and if she was okay with that, who's to say how many other people are like that in the family? And then
Well,
nobody ever even questioned about the kids in her custody. They're just there.
well, Kat, those answers, I mean, as of today, I can promise you I don't have those answers. But I could direct you in a place where you could get those answers plus some more. Where
Mm-hmm.
at 7 Mile Radio, 7 Mile
7 Mile
Radio,
Radio.
yeah, he interviewed the entire goddamn family.
Mm-hmm.
I
So she
mean,
has to be reported. She has to be extensively because there should be no kids in her custody at all. At all.
none,
At
not
all.
one. That's right. But then
And then
somebody said in the
CPS should be
chat
on the
tonight,
I'm
somebody
sorry.
said in the
Mm-hmm.
chat tonight that they saw Annette in the supermarket, and Annette had
Hmm.
two small children with her.
And that's weird too, because if this case happened, even if that was the children's father, uncle, whatever, because of that case, those children should be under all the children. There should be
That's
no
right.
children in their custody. So that's why I always question CPS. That's why I always tell people, look at CPS, look at them beat. They let too much stuff
Right.
slide. How?
And
That
that's
I'm
my
sorry. I
question.
know nobody has the answer. I'm just pissed. I'm like, how? How? Because I just don't get it. Who's paying them? It's like somebody's paying them to set up this big orchestra of things. Because the average
Yes,
person can get CPS calls on them for little things
that's
and get in
exactly
trouble.
right. That's exactly right.
And she's getting
It,
checks. The grandmother's actually getting
the
checks from the state.
grandmother, right? The grandmother was getting paid. The father explained The father explained that when he gave his parental rights to that grandmother, and he explained why he gave his rights up, he explained why the biological mom gave her rights up. They were on drugs, doing their own thing and shit. But then him, on the other hand, he didn't want to upset his wife because he was a married man. He cheated on his wife. He had a lot of shit going on. So he did not want to hurt his wife's feelings by letting her know that he was out there doing shit he had no business doing. So he gladly gave up his rights.
Wow.
So he said when he did that, he said he knew he did wrong. So he went and put himself on child support. So Annette was getting a monthly check from him for the baby.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Oh, that grandmother's something else.
Annette was a
Oh,
motherfucker.
she's something else. Oh, wow. I didn't know it went that deep now. And
It's
she sat
deeper.
on that stand with no emotion, no nothing.
None.
Like that kid with like dirt on the bottom of her shoe. Like there was no emotion there. Oh
Not
my
a piece
God.
of
It just
emotion.
hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. It just ooh, ooh. And
Yes,
they still
yes.
walking around in supermarkets and acting like nothing ain't happened.
Nothing. How could they? How could they?
I'm sorry,
But
Mocha.
but
That burns me
7
up. It
miles.
burns
Look,
me up.
girl, you're gonna have to sit down, hold on to your seat, and everything else going to 7 Mile Radio because he got the tea. I mean, family members called in
Man.
and said the most horrible things about Annette and Shannon and their family dynamics. And this shit with Annette and Shannon, you see what's happening with Lil NaZiyah right now?
Mhm.
Allegedly, this stuff has been going on all their lives.
So all of them went through this?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
This
This is
shit started,
horrible.
allegedly, this shit started with grandparents.
Mm,
And the cycle just continued.
man. Well, Mocha, I appreciate you letting me on. I stumbled upon your channel today. I'm a new sub. I appreciate
Thank
you
you,
keeping it
girl.
real and opening up to this. And everybody, thank you for welcoming me in here. And I am going to check out the other station as well. And everybody, watch your people. Stay prayed up. Stay alert.
Yes,
You know,
and
that's
that's
all
the
I can
key.
say. Love one
That's the
another.
key, Cat.
You know?
Stay prayed up. Protect those
Mhm.
babies. Watch your children. Don't just want to love a man so much that you forget that you got children. That's
Man,
crazy to
I
me.
appreciate that.
But
Make me
what we're
want to
gonna
cry,
do,
yo.
Cat?
But y'all have a
We're
good
gonna,
night.
girl. We're gonna keep following this story. And like I said, he goes on trial on Thursday. That's gonna be the first day of his. That's gonna be the first day of his trial. So he goes on trial on Thursday. Baby, we're gonna be back here either Thursday night or Friday mornings, and Friday during the day, something. We're gonna cover his first day.
Yeah. Let's stay on his neck.
So I'm not
Let's
gonna
stay on his
allow
neck.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna allow us to, back up like this and have to cover so much at one time. We're gonna catch it day by day. And we're gonna
Thank
talk
you.
about it.
Have a blessed night, everybody. Bye.
Yes, but we appreciate you, girl. Now I welcome you as a new member, and over here we keep it funky, we keep it raw. Look, we unfiltered. I'm Mocha unfiltered, baby. There ain't shit that we can't talk about over here. So let's see. Son says, just looking, he's much older than the mom. That's generational for them. That's their training program. Son, right. Nene says, that's so pathetic. She's chasing money instead of protecting her children. Nene, Nene. That's sad. Angela says, my daughter works for CPS. I'm going to ask questions and tell her to go check this story out. Please do. And Angela, if you can, while we're covering this story, if you can, and if your daughter can, I would love for your daughter to come and be a part of us. 313, good night, my love. Thank you for stopping by. So I would love for your daughter, Angela, to come join us. Come join us. And we could talk about it. She could share with us what she knows, you know, and let her give us her take on this situation. I would truly welcome that. Oh, Shanika, don't talk about Shannon's twin sister. Oh my God. My God. I didn't think that could have been another one until, oh my Jesus. Antoinette crazy. Antoinette says, I hate that woman name is so close to mine. Contagious said, Angela, please do and let us know. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Contagious is welcoming in TBZ. TBZ, welcome. Terrific says, child support checks, SSI checks, food stamp cards, WIC checks, Medicaid. Girl, Medicaid, Section 8, food pantry. Them some system bitches. Terrific. Them bitches is system bitches. TBZ is speaking to everybody. Sheena says, I hear Shanks sharpening down from the jail. It's going to be more than that. 313 says, see y'all then. Yes, please make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Please share out the content. Push your girl out there. Push your girl out there. I've only been a content creator, guys. Last week made me 6 months. 6 months being a content creator. I never thought I would be on YouTube doing what I do. And, you know, and honestly, I enjoy this. I enjoy this. I enjoy you guys, you know, and the more I dive into these stories, the more I enjoy. And now I'm loving my audience. I love what you guys bring here. And I want us together, not just Mocha doing what Mocha does. I want us together to dive into these stories. This is what I want. So with my 6 months being here, guys, I would truly, truly appreciate it if you guys share a girl out. You know, try to get me to 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal. But I don't mind building my channel organically, 1 subscriber at a time. 1 subscriber at a time. Let me move down in this chat. Angela says, I sure will. Thank you, Angela. Alita says, wow, you do better than the CCs that have been here for years. Thank you, my love. Now, girl, I appreciate that. That was a hell of a compliment. Nene says, we love you, Mocha, and Mocha loves you guys even more. Mom of Cousin says, I'm still stuck on who helped him when he went and got his baby mom's car. It could have been Shannon. Shannon knew about all the women. Shannon could have dropped him to get that car. Melanie says, Antoinette, the one who acted like the baby, went to visit the dad. Terrific says, Antoinette, my middle name is Annette. My middle name is Annette. Shit. This has been an awesome live, you guys. I appreciate. Oh, Antoinette, I remember the lady that put her kids in the freezer, girl. I do. Like I said, the stories on YouTube, the stories that's out there, y'all, they keep giving. And we need to be those that put the stories out. Bring awareness to these situations. We can't keep failing our young children at the hands of mamas that don't give a damn and men that just want to get their rocks off. We can't do that. We can't do that. Melanie says, I love y'all so much. Let's help Mocha Unfiltered grow, y'all. Thank you so much, Melanie. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Sheena said, yes, happy 6-month anniversary, Mocha. We love you, and Mocha loves y'all even more. Right, TBZ, it's a pedal ring. Exactly. So, guys, Mocha has been on here for 3 hours and 15 minutes, and I enjoyed each and every one of you. I love you guys. I'm going to be on Jarvis' case come Thursday. And depending on what time that case ends, well, as a matter of fact, it don't matter what time the case ends. You all can meet me back here. Meet up back here on Thursday evening between 7 and 8. I'm not sure of the time yet. And we will discuss. Antoinette says, good job, Moko, your 6 months. Thank you, my love. And we're going to discuss his Thursday night case. So you guys have a good night. I appreciate you all. Later, darling. Love you, my girl. Love you too, Auntie Loretta. So, guys, we're going to say a good night. And I will see you guys on Thursday, God spare. Later.
Stepping in the spot, confidence on display. Elegance and motion, we move our way. No time for games, we've outgrown the chase. In this grown and sexy space, we set the pace. Eyes meet, the vibe is right. Conversations deep into the night. Sipping on wisdom, age like wine. In this moment, everything aligns. Grown and sexy, feel the groove. Mature rhythms make us move. No drama here, just pure delight. Living for the moment, owning the night. Dressed to impress, but it's more than the clothes. The aura we exude, the life we chose. Sophistication in every glance. In this dance of life we enhance. Laughter echoes, stories unfold. Sharing secrets, being bold. In this circle, trust is key. A sanctuary for you and me. Grown and sexy, feel the groove. Mature rhythms make us move. No drama here, just pure delight. Living for the moment, owning the night. Refined, lessons learned now intertwined. In this ambiance we find our peace, a grown and sexy masterpiece. Oh, 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 oh. We've been through the fire and earth refined. Lessons learned now intertwined. In this ambiance we find our peace, a grown and sexy masterpiece. Grown and sexy, feel the groove. Mature rhythms make us move. No drama here, just pure